Thanasi, you must be pretty gutted, another retirement.
Yeah, it's not great. Again, especially after the satisfying feeling of qualifying and doing it the hard way a little bit. Felt like my tennis was in a really good spot. So, yeah, I came in with a little bit of a cloud, but like it just started getting way worse during the match, and it got to a point where it was affecting me. It's coming down my arm, and it just wasn't great. So yeah, it's tough, especially it's just the atmosphere here is so good. I love playing in front of those guys, and I felt like I was actually playing pretty good tennis, but I just couldn't serve or hit a high ball.
Qualifying workload. Sorry.
Where to from now then? Is it a case of needing more surgery or?
No, it's not a surgery thing. It's just a bit unfortunate timing. The shoulder itself is fine, which is what I had surgery on. This thing just needs a lot of rest, and then when I rest, I need some rehab. So just, unfortunate timing. Obviously, playing 3 matches in qualies probably wasn't ideal with it. I was kind of managing it through Brisbane as well. But yeah, it got to a point where it was almost, it was unplayable to an extent.
Are you frustrated now that you did have to do the qualies all up, even more after finding that the excessive play is partly to blame for what's happened today?
Yes and no. I was pretty proud that I qualied. Obviously a bit of stuff going on, but I was happy with how I dug deep and had a bit of pressure on me, I felt, and I did that, and probably was supposed to beat the players I did, but it's the first time qualifying for a Grand Slam, and I think it's really hard to do. So I was really proud of that, but also, maybe if I'd gotten straight in, I would have had a bit more time to rest and recover and be 100% for my first round match, but I just got to make sure in the future I don't need to rely on a wild card or anything like that. I get my ranking up. I have a good year hopefully this year, and I won't need any of that or go through qualies.
You did just mention then there was a bit of stuff going on. What did you make of what Bernard had to say last night?
I don't really want to answer that stuff right now. I'm just pissed off I lost and I had to retire. So, that's all I'm saying for that.
Thanasi, mentally, what's kind of the toughest thing about having to constantly kind of monitor your body and maintain?
It's just the stop-start, I guess. Every time I feel like I'm getting a bit of momentum, something seems to happen. I don't know. I just got to keep putting myself in positions and keep getting my body stronger. I'm trying to look at it as a process, but Jesus, it gets tough. It gets real tough every time I have to retire like that. Yeah, but that was the most pain I've ever played in during a match, I think. But it's just the constant stop-starting as well, and the timing of it. Like the last 4 years I've played here, I feel like I haven't been I missed 2 the first 2 years. The last 2 years I injured myself in the match, and then this year didn't feel good at all. So yeah, it's annoying, especially missing the Aussie Slam or not being ready for that one.
Sorry to get straight back into it. Do you support Leighton remaining as Davis Cup captain?
I'm not answering that.
Totally different subject. When I came out like that on a story on Serena, she's been hitting with a lot more ATP guys lately, and I think you were sort of the first one, I think, who was, what I heard, who did it at more
Academy.
I'm just curious what that experience was like, and if practicing with women, which more and more guys are doing, even like at this tournament, is viable for ATP players.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see why not. She hits real well, though. She's so strong on the ball, and I was expecting her to be good, but we didn't play any points or anything like that. We just hit. Patrick asked me, and I said, yeah, sure, in France. And yeah, she knew a lot more about me than I thought. So, but yeah, she's super nice, super bubbly, and hopefully she does well here. But I don't know. I don't see why not, really. Yeah.
What impressed you most about her?
She's just so strong. Yeah, she's so strong on the ball.
Do you sense that when you're at bunker with her?
Just when I thought I hit some good shots that even some male players might struggle with, she just took it on the rise, and yeah, she handled it pretty well. So I was like, okay, it's tough.
And I'll say I haven't seen you since the Andy Murray news came out, so I was just wondering, because he tends to, with the younger players, kind of like, gets along well with them. I was just wondering, do you have any Andy Murray anecdotes you can share with us?
Oh, I don't know. I love that dude. He's super nice. I remember before, when I was really young and watching him on TV, I was like, this guy looks miserable all the time on court. But then when I started to progress onto tour and play a few more matches, he's probably the nicest guy you ever meet, and he went out of his way to reach out to me in my game and just in general. He's real honest, really real. And when I was playing matches in Hopman Cup last year, he'd send me these massive paragraphs about things he thinks I should do on court, what could help me, and stuff like that. So he's just really genuine and a good guy, and hopefully he doesn't retire too soon, because he's I love having him around.
Thanasi, we spoke last week and we're talking about how much goodwill there is out for you when you have a positive result. For your fans and for you and for the people who follow you, do you think there's a time, and how far down the track do you think it will be, when there's no baggage related to the stuff going on around Australian men's tennis, when we can just talk about your performance without having to field these sorts of questions? Yeah. And what will it take for that point to be reached?
It's a good question. I think just good results, really. Winning cures a lot of things. I think the more we get older, the more everyone develops. We just focus more on the product that's on the court. There's always going to be stories and headlines out there, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything. You just got to try and play good tennis and stay healthy and compete well and stay out of trouble.
Don't you think those headlines stop you from playing the best tennis you can play? Wouldn't you prefer for them not to be there and for those individuals to stop creating headlines?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You can take it differently. Sometimes you can take it as fuel and it can fire you up, and I think I play some of my best tennis like that when I feel like I've got a point to prove or something like that. But everyone takes it differently. For me, you could try and block everything out, all the outside noise. You've got an opponent and he's just worried about beating you, so you've got to try and think the same way.
Yeah, just with the wildcard situation, mate, did you want to say anything about that? Were you disappointed, or were you just happy to sort of accept that and get on with it?
Well, of course I was disappointed. I thought I would have gotten one, but when I got the call that I wasn't going to get one, my attention had to shift. Again, I used it to fire me up a little bit and work my way through qualies. I wish I came through qualies unscathed, but it was a good little thing good little feather in my cap to qualify for a slam, especially the home slam. Hopefully I'm not in that position too many more times. Hopefully I can have a good year and go back to where I belong, so I won't need to be qualifying for slams.
Do you feel like you deserved it, given what you've done in the past and how the runs on the board?
Yeah, that's for them to decide. I felt like I did, but again, I just got to not even be in that conversation next time. I just got to not worry about it and have a good year. If I stay healthy, I'm not in this position in 12 months' time.
Did you feel that your performance on court today was in any way negatively impacted by things said last night and things?
No, I don't know, man. Not at all. I actually felt like I was playing pretty good. It's just my pec was a bit munted. Apart from that, it didn't affect me at all. I was actually off the ground. I felt great.